Today, the third Sunday of Lent, we come to the church San Lorenzo fuori le mura. St. Lawrence outside the walls stands as the last shrine related to events in the life of the saint. While his condemnation traditionally took place at St. Lawrence in Miranda in the Forum, his imprisonment at St. Lawrence at the Fount, and his martyrdom at St. Lawrence in Panisperna, it was here that his charred remains were brought by the grieving Christian community for interment. Catacombs had been dug into the hill which once stood on this site, and at the time of St. Lawrence's death, their owner, the Christian matron, St. Cyriaca, brought his remains here for burial. Just over 50 years later, the Edict of Milan was issued, either by Constantine late in his reign, or possibly by one of his sons. This stood to the right of the current basilica and faced the opposite direction, being somewhat larger as well, and was connected to the tomb of the saint in the catacombs by two long ramps which projected from its side. At first, this basilica, like that of St. Peter, was more a covered cemetery than a structure built for liturgical worship, though it soon became primarily used for such. The constant stream of pilgrims to the site led to the erection of another basilica over the tomb itself, with most of the construction taking place under Pope Pelagius II. Although smaller than the other basilica, this provided a more fitting setting for the shrine around the saint's tomb, which was further enlarged in the early 9th century. Pope Pelagius also brought here the relics of St. Stephen, the first martyr, and put them in the tomb where the relics of St. Lawrence were already kept. There's a legend that when the body of the proto-martyr was brought here, the body of St. Lawrence moved to the side to make room for him in the tomb. Gradually, the newer basilica became the primary one on the site, the older one being rededicated to the Blessed Virgin soon hereafter. And so what are some points of interest today? We see the Confessio, which contains the tombs of Stephen, Lawrence, and Justin the Presbyter. In the crypt, we see the tomb of Blessed Pope Pius IX. There's also the chapel of St. Cyriaca, that saint who brought the relics of St. Lawrence after his death to the catacombs. Also, there's the chapel of St. Tarcisius, dedicated to the saint who died protecting the Eucharist. And so this chapel now holds the Blessed Sacrament. And finally, there's a statue of Pius XII, located in the piazza in front of the basilica. The statue commemorates the Pope's visit after severe bombing to the neighborhood in World War II.